Let's start with the bishop, and then we come to you.
So thank you, Chair.
There's a conflict here, but
I appreciate the candidates and the way he's trying to articulate issues. Two questions. One, in this country, even when ringing is done, it's not done everywhere. There are areas that are hot spots for such tricks. What kind of a mechanism would you deploy to ensure that those highly suspected areas and regions are kept on watch, so that we do not have a case where we think the results are delaying because they're being manufactured? That's one concern. The second question I have, you are coming on board at a time when the country is on a very serious controversy, and you are likely to be caught up in the cobweb of the controversy. How are you going to maintain your balance so that you are not seen at the start to seem like you are partisan or playing your cards towards a certain direction? Because as you know, the country is divided into two in terms of preparations for the elections. How do you really put yourself in such a way that both sides can listen to you with some good level of trust?
I want to congratulate you for the appointment. And I'm fully aware that you know now you are the man in the eye of the storm. But I want to ask you, what do you say about the people who are proposing to have a parallel tallying center during the next January elections? And secondly, I would also want to know where you stand in the recently passed electoral law amendment bill, and whether you support an alternative, a supplementary alternative to the digital system. And finally, of course, you know the exit of the former commissioners and how they were hauled out of office through picketing and mass action. Do you support a removal of a constitutional commission through picketing and mass action, notwithstanding the fact that we have express laws, express provisions in our constitution on the removal of a constitutional commission?
Yeah, Honorable B.
Thank you very much. I also want to imagine and to ask you, because I know you have thought about this job as a lawyer and a citizen who have been in this country. And I want to ask you about the most difficult moment, because I myself and a number of Kenyans believe that the person who planned this country in 0708 was the chairman of the IEBC, the interim boundaries election at that time. And therefore, it was the defunct ECK, because of his pronouncement to the country that people are manufacturing, that some people are forcing me to declare. In case such a very difficult moment comes back again in this country, how do you intend to handle this country? Because you will be the key person. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. First, I want to congratulate Mr. Chebukati Wafula for the nomination. I had the Honorable Ikanjo saying appointment, but as per now, it's for the nomination. Congratulations. And my question is pertaining the controversial electoral laws that His Excellency the President has already assented to, and in relation to curricular report, particularly when it comes to the voter identification before voting, the cost 1.2 million. You've seen that the opposition is actually worried that this is maybe giving room for rigging. Using your skills, what strategies are you going to put in place to assure the opposition that we're not going to have the rigging in 2017, particularly after His Excellency the President has assented to this controversial electoral law? Thank you.
Mr. Chebukati, you can answer the questions. I hope you have taken them down.
Yes, I have.
If you forget any, I have also taken them down. I can help you.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Starting with the question from Honorable Bishop. Hotspots. We have lessons from 2013. We know the areas which had issues in terms of violence, in terms of improprieties and malpractices. Those lessons we can carry with us and do mapping of those areas, run with it to the August election and prepare in good time. So that history of hotspots will assist us to manage the August elections. If we take the lessons learned in 2013 seriously, and I don't see why we should not, because they are there. We know which area did what, and we can use that information to benefit the August election. Your other question was on issues of being partisan. I consider myself non-partisan. For the last 10 years, I have not participated in any political activity or electoral activity other than being a voter. And I've been involved. Yes.
Mr. Chebukati.
Yes, Chairman.
Not in the last 10 years. In your lifetime, have you ever participated in elections?
Yes.
As a candidate? Yes.
That's why I deliberately say 10 years.
Don't
yes.
cut off the date of 10 years.
Yes, Chair. I participated in elections in 2007 in Saboti constituency, and I stood for a parliamentary seat during that year.
On what party?
I was on the Orange Democratic Party movement of Kenya, and the other person, the one who won is Eugene Wamalwa, who was standing on PNU party. I would like to say something about that election. The lessons I learned from there, what I saw, the election malpractices, my house was broken into and all the forms 16As were taken so that I could not proceed with any petition. But that's not even the big issue. The big issue is when I was separated from my family, I couldn't get back to my children in Mombasa because of the violence and threatened violence which had just started before the end of, before the announcement of the presidential winner that time. And I went through a lot traveling from Kitale to Mombasa, and what I saw is something that I would never want to see in this country again. So, Chair, yes, I participated in election, but I made a decision that I will not participate in elections that time. After that, again, I retreated to my law practice, and I've not been active in politics since that time. And the people of Saboti, and the Chris Omalwa, the MP of Kiminini, my MP should bear witness to that.
Mr. Chebukati, you may not have been active.
Yes.
But are you still a member of any political party?
Thank you, Chair, for the question. At the moment, I'm not a member of any political party. Prior to this appointment, I had resigned from the Orange Democratic Party movement, and I'm not a member of any political party at the moment.
When did you resign?
Sometimes a month or before applying for this job, prior to applying for this appointment. Actually, I returned the certificate, but I have not been active member of Orange Democratic Party.
Okay, continue.
Yes.
Continue.
So, on the issue of partisanship, I want to say that I'm non-partisan. I will exercise my duty as chairman without fear or favor of any party. and I will run a free and fair and credible election without favoring any party. I will treat all parties in the election as the same when they come before me, and in the stakeholders forums when they do arise. There's a question from Honorable Ganjo. I don't know whether I've satisfied your answers, Bishop. Yes. Honorable Ganjo asked about parallel tallying centers. And on the issue of parallel tallying centers, I'm not aware of the parallel tallying centers which are being threatened. I don't know whether there's an official communication to the IEBC on that. It's something which perhaps I'll wait to be briefed by the IEBC. Yes.
He's asking,
yes,
you as a lawyer, is there any legal mechanism to allow for a parallel tallying center? What would you as a lawyer say? Because you know, you're a lawyer, you're a nominee now for the chair. I mean, you must hold a position with regard to that. If you are instructed today or you're asked to give a legal opinion, what would you say?
Thank you, Chair. The issue of running elections is a mandate of IEBC. The Constitution and the election laws say the body mandated to run elections is the IEBC. And it's only IEBC which will be able to deal with the issue of voting, transmission of results, and collecting those results and declaring winners. However, if another body comes in and says we are doing the same, then there will be a lot of issues in terms of the accuracy of those results. But that's not to say that the candidates and the stakeholders, the political parties, can do their own thing, but whatever they do should not be taken as the official position. I mean, we can't stop people from collecting information and for their own records, but that should not be seen as an official position. The official position must be the IEBC, because it's the only legal body mandated to run elections.
Continue. I think there was another question by Honorable Waiganjo, whether you support picketing to remove, for instance, if you are approved today, we recommend you for approval, and the National Assembly approves you.
Yes.
Do you support picketing to remove you?
Thank you, Chair. I'm aware the right of picketing is a constitutional right. Citizens can express the right to strike, to picket, and so forth. But I would not want to support the issue of picketing for every problem we have in this country, for the simple reason that a lot of time is wasted, a lot of things happen, people get injured, people even die. Now, we don't have to take that route if we can talk to each other and manage situations. I think if there's proper communication, proper information and meetings with the stakeholders and communication with the Kenyan people, we should not reach a level of picketing in situations like this one. But it's a constitutional right for people to express themselves. You can't stop them. We voted for the Constitution, and that's our country. But I believe, as chairperson of IEBC, that channel of communication will be open, and I hope we don't reach a level where there's mistrust to lead to those kind of situations.
Question by Honorable B. Okay. Are you aware about the amendments? Have you read them?
I heard last night on the news that the President has signed the bill into law. I followed up the debate in the Senate and National Assembly. I have not digested all of them, but I'm aware there is an amendment to Section 44 of the Elections Act, introducing Section 44A, in addition to what we already have as Section 44, which merely brings in an aspect of a complementary mechanism in on issues of identification of voters. Now, I would say this, that IEBC has been planning towards this election. I have their operation manual here, election operations plan, which they say they have outlined how they are working on this. So I don't know exactly what the department in charge of IT has done. I would want really to be briefed on what they have done so far, because we are not inside there, we are outside here. But subject to that, the rule of law has to be followed. It's an independent commission guided by the Constitution and the laws of the land. The rule of law has to be followed. I believe guidelines will come from IEBC as to how to operationalize the law. But nevertheless, Chair, the electronic system and the manual system, that debate is ongoing. And in fact, I saw from one of the news releases from the Secretariat that on issues of registration of voters and on issues of other issues which involve electronic, things will just be what they are. So it's something I need to digest once I'm inside, so that I know how we can handle it. I would not want to say what